Hello there, champ fans. This is taking a bit, long overdue. As you can probably tell from my voice, I'm still a little bit under the weather from my adventures out to LA last weekend to get this artwork signed. But I wanted to get a video done. I'm not going to have any FaceTime on this one because I still kind of look and sound a little bit like death warmed over. But I wanted to show off the art, show off the autographs, and share a little bit about it and the experience I had in meeting with the actors, so that I hope it gives you a little bit of a more personal connection to the piece should you choose to pull the trigger and make a purchase. And for those of you that have already done so. So this is the first time this is going public. I notified people who have ordered signature editions from me in the past. You get a little bit of a heads up going forward on these things. As soon as I can make them happen, I'm trying to get a little more proactive in planning that out as opposed to springing them on you last minute. So what we have here, of course, is King Viserys I Targaryen from House of the Dragon, as played by the great Paddy Consadine, signed last weekend at the Game of Thrones convention in Los Angeles. This piece was drawn by me, and because I was working under a very, very, very tight production schedule, I did call in some assists on this with the colors. Buddy mine that I have worked with a few times in the past, and if you own some of my artwork, odds are you own his work as well, since he has colored some stuff for me. William Anderson lives over in Scotland, and he really helped me define some of my coloring style, as he colored some of my earlier work, and then I moved on to coloring stuff myself because I wanted to do it. But in cases where I don't have the time, I do turn to him to assist, and he came through in a pinch because we had about a week and a half, I think it was, to get 4 pieces turned out. And so I'd work on them during the day over here, and then send them over to him, and he would bust away on them, color them up all nice and pretty across the pond, as they say. So great colors by Will. I love working with him because while he takes my direction and certainly, delivers the vision that I have as far as the colors go, and keeps the artwork consistent in the style that I have. He also puts a great little bit of himself in them that really adds to it. So this is a 12 by 18 Geikley, I think is how you say it. 80-pound felt cardstock, full bleed. So for those of you who have gotten artwork from me in the past, you know the cardstock that I use. It's a great quality stock. It's got a little bit of a texture to it, and it really brings out the colors nice. I like to do a little bit of a subdued color palette. Will actually pushed a little more color in this one than I was expecting, and it was a great surprise for me. But that being said, even though we've got, the Iron Throne is iron, and it's all grays and stuff, but we got like a little nice range of color, subtle going on up here, and Viserys's costume is darker colors with gold. But let's talk about some of the details that we've got in here. As you can see, we've got the Valyrian steel effect on the blade. We've got the cat's paw dagger there tucked into his robes, with a nice little burst of red on the gem. And for the eagle eye, we do have the bandaged finger over here, as he had in the show. A sign of things to come. And for you hardcore fans of the books, a little thing I do with all my Targaryens is I did give him the violet eyes, like they're described as having in the books. Not something in the show because it adds a little bit too much unearthliness, I guess, to the characters. Paddy's just really elegant looking autograph down here at the bottom, done in a metallic gold, so you can see it catching the light here. My somewhat less elegant chicken scratch over here, and numbered 1 through 20. There were only 20 pieces of this signed ever. And aside from the 20 that are colored and signed, there are 10 artist proofs that are in color, and that is it as far as color editions of this piece go. For those of you that aren't familiar with an artist proof, those are like the first pieces off the printer, where you kind of do the color check and everything, and you tend to set those aside. So 20 signed, numbered by Paddy. Paddy was just a really, I was fanboying, to a certain degree, but just a really, really nice guy to talk to. Very enthusiastic in meeting the fans, very pleasant. And some of the conversations that we had that I want to share with you to kind of help you give those of you that pull the trigger on this, give you a more of a personal connection with this piece, is that, we were obviously talking about the great throne room scene. And I was telling them just how much it broke me emotionally, and I was so glad I was sitting by myself while I was watching it, because it was embarrassing, the ugly crying that was going on. And but I was telling, he was talking about what a great character Viserys was for him to play as an actor. And I told him, that I think one of the things that I connected with Viserys, which I wasn't expecting to going into the series, was him being, a single dad with a daughter, and the lengths he was going to try to protect his daughter and take care of him. And he said that, that was one of the things that he really latched on to, since he has daughters himself. And so he was trying to bring a lot of that passion, a lot of that emotion as a father of a daughter into this role. And I think he did a really great job with that. Some other funny things that came out during his panels was, everybody always talks about, as an actor, do you keep a prop from the set? And he was wanting a sword, because he'd seen all the Lord of the Rings blokes talking about the swords that Peter Jackson gave them, in memorial of their filming, and he wanted to keep the dagger, but they wouldn't let him do that. But he did keep a piece of the model that was in Viserys' bedchambers. And I think if you watch the show, you probably know what piece he took. It was shown a couple times. Just a really, really great guy to talk to. This was I believe his first appearance at a convention, and it was just really great with the fans, and gave everybody, a little bit of time to chat with, and it was just really, really a positive experience meeting him. So if you are interested in this piece, I think we're over half of the 20 that have already been claimed. If you're interested, private message me wherever you're seeing this on social media, or shoot me an email at mike@michaelchampion.net, and I'll give you all the details. I am working with people on payment plans if they need them. And I'll kind of share some information with you on why I come up with the pricing that I do on these signature editions. Just, in full transparency, it's not out to, I'm not out to try to milk everybody out of every dollar that they have. That's, far from it. I love doing this art. I love meeting the actors, getting them signed, and I love sharing them with people that have as great of a passion for these shows as I do, these characters. But at the end of the day, I do have to cover expenses. And so I have to look at, not only what does the autograph cost of the actor that's involved, but also, the costs associated with making that happen. And in this case, it involved airfare to LA, to and from LA, and hotels in LA, and Ubers in LA, and meals in LA. And not just for the one actor here, but for the others that I got. So it was not an inexpensive trip But having said that, you know, I do try to keep the costs on these down as much as I can while, you know, I still got to make a little bit of a profit because at the end of the day, you know, daddy's got to pay his bills. So anyway, still getting you know, as with all these things, they look 100% better in person. I don't have a professional light set up here, so I'm sure the colors are washed out a little bit, get a little bit of a glare down here. Everything's blown out where the light's hitting it. I'll try to move this around just a little bit so you can see the way the colors play as the light moves, the way the light reflects off the autographs. Woo, there we go. That light's hitting it good. But anyway, there you go. Let's and we're going to pop in for a quick zoom. And there you go, the great man himself, Viserys the Peaceful. If you're interested, hit me up. Fire and blood.